What's up, guys, and welcome to the Nintendo Campfire Podcast, Episode 2. Happy to have you here with me. Today, we're going to be discussing a bunch of news that dropped this week, what I've been playing, and we'll go over a few community-wide questions, and eventually that section will be taken up by viewer questions or like viewer response, a segment like that. And this is actually a pretty news-heavy week, so I'm excited to jump right into it with you guys. Hopefully, there are some noticeable improvements in the setup and quality output. And yeah, let's just start today by talking about what I've been playing. I've actually been playing a lot of games with my girlfriend, and as of the recording of the last episode, the Nintendo Switch 2 edition of Animal Crossing had just dropped. So we have been playing a ton of that. We both actually started a new island, and the story with my original Animal Crossing island is a tragedy. So I played not quite from day one, but a little bit after, a couple weeks after the game came out back in 2020. And I played that game a ton for years, up until the time I got my Nintendo Switch OLED. So I'm upgrading from my Switch 1, and the OLED model comes out. I get the OLED, and for most every game, it's a simple transfer. You can just put the two switches next to each other and everything will transfer over, except for Animal Crossing. And I didn't know this at the time. So there's a specific app you have to download to transfer your Animal Crossing save to another Nintendo Switch. And I didn't know that at the time. I transfer everything over. I go to play my island and it is just gone. By that time, I had already traded in my old Switch, so there was no way for me to retrieve the data. They had already wiped it, and it was pretty sad. I did try a couple more times to start another island, but it never really felt the same. Like, I didn't have the energy to go through all of that again because I put hundreds of hours into that game. I had done so much terraforming, I built pathways, farms in my OG island. It was called Eventide. I name all of my Animal Crossing islands after Zelda. So that was the island in Breath of the Wild where you lose all of your items, one of the best parts of the game. And I had never really gotten back into it fully since then. But now with the Switch 2 edition, it was time. Got my girlfriend a copy of the game. We'd both been waiting to play it again. We get the upgrade, which is only $5 if you already have the Switch 1 version of the game, which is a very fair price because you get some new content, you get the visual improvement, you get a few Switch 2 exclusive items and features, stuff with the camera and microphone, and it's a really great excuse to jump back in and start a new island. So this time, I fully got back into it. Same thing with my girlfriend. This time, my island is named Koholint, like from Link's Awakening, and it's been a lot of fun to be able to play it along with her. So Animal Crossing is a great game to play bit by bit each day. If you get too invested into it, you might get, a little tired of it because a lot of the tasks are intended to be done over a long period of time. So it's been really fun to jump back into it from the beginning because that's some of the best and most engaging parts of the game. So, we're laying out the island layout. We're picking where we want our houses to go for our villagers, upgrading your house, getting all of the new items. And since the last time I played, they actually added a lot of new stuff. So I'm able to dive and go swimming with her out in the deep. We're catching these sea creatures to sell for money, and it's been a ton of fun. So we both got heavily back into Animal Crossing. I plan to be playing this for a while. I eventually want to get the Tulin and Minoru villagers, and so does my girlfriend. Thankfully, we have the amiibo to use to do that. And ideally, I have like my dream villagers I want to get, but it's such a gamble when you're going to these Nook Mile ticket islands. You never know what villager you're going to get. So it's a big waiting game. If you have a set few that you want, it could literally take thousands of islands. So I'm almost debating getting amiibo cards for all of the villagers I want. Same for my girlfriend. Like, do I really want to spend $20 to $40 on amiibo cards? No, but also if I'm really jumping back into Animal Crossing with her and we both want to have things, like our ideal way, we want to really put the effort in, I'm almost thinking it's worth it. We'll see. Now is not the time. I don't have the spare change to do that at the moment, but we will see. Because, again, this is going to take us probably a couple of years, and I'm super excited to get all the collab items, and I can update you guys on my progress as we continue to play, but that's just been a ton of fun. So that's Animal Crossing. We're both really into that. What else have I been playing? So I've also been playing Pokemon Legends EA, same as I said last week, but I've gotten a lot further now. I've basically wrapped things up to the point where I'm going to stop playing. I've caught in the Pokemon that I want to catch. I've gotten plenty of shinies. I actually got a shiny Squirtle while I was resetting for a ghost type hyperspace because I needed Mimikyu for one of the quests. And a shiny Squirtle randomly showed up. Squirtle is my favorite of the OG Pokemon starters, so I was more than happy to have it. Adorable little guy. My girlfriend got her shiny Eevee, Dream Shiny. We're both feeling good about that. Again, it's been really fun to play Pokemon Legends ZA with her. It's been an awesome experience. One of my gaming memories I'll hold on to for a long time. And yeah, I'm caught into legendaries and mythicals that I want to wrap things up with the DLC and the main game. Infinite ZA Royale, I got enough wins to get AZ's Floette. Um, got my Mega Lucario Z, which is an awesome Mega, by the way, and I'm basically set with that game for now. Thoroughly enjoyed it, one of my favorite games from last year, and I'm just gonna wait for when they add the Mega Stones for the Hoenn starters and eventually Garchomp Z. I believe we're still waiting on that stone to be added through like the online ranked matches. I'll probably go back for those when all three of them are available, and once I have those, I will consider myself done with the game unless they update it and add something else. But so that's been really fun. Basically wrapped up my time with Pokemon Legends ZA. I played a bit of Kirby Air Riders, played online with some new friends. I'm working my way through the single player campaign, which is called Road Trip, and that has been a ton of fun. I'm just really impressed with Kirby Air Riders. It's got so much of that Smash feel. I call it Smash isms, and it's really scratching that itch. It's just a quality experience. I love seeing another Sakurai game on the Switch, and as someone who didn't play the OG Kirby Air Riders and loves Kirby, it's been awesome. I just unlocked Rick. I love Rick. He's adorable. There's just a lot of love and care put into this game. It's a quality release. If the controls click with you, if you're able to learn how to air ride, everything just clicks into place and it's such a fun time. I'm loving City Trial. That's the mode I've played the most. I'm loving the events they've done. You know, they've decorated the lobby for Christmas and for New Year. I hope they continue to do that. There was an unlockable Santa hat. I'm just having a blast with this game. I can't wait to dive more into the single player campaign because I'm really enjoying it. It's not like World of Light and Smash Ultimate where it feels a little mundane and repetitive. You are doing a lot of the same thing over and over again, but because Road Trip mixes air ride, top ride, city trial, and adds boss fights, it never feels too repetitive. And you're doing something similar to what you'd be doing in city trial, and you're building up specific stat attributes for your vehicle, so it feels personal. There's a story to it, there's cutscenes, it's awesome. Really can't say enough about this game. I'm hoping to be able to play this with some friends and family because I think if you're able to teach a group of people the air ride controls, it'd be a amazing time, especially city trial or top ride with some friends and family. Hoping to do that, loving my time with this game, so I'm continuing that. I'm not done with even a single run of Road Trip yet, and I'm still kind of building up my familiarity with some of the vehicles and machines. Sorry, they're called machines. I'm loving my time with that. So I played some Air Riders as well. And then other than that, I've also hopped back into Metroid Prime 4. That was a game I took a break from because I wanted to wait until I could fully dive into it. And now that I'm done with Pokemon Legends EA, that's going to be my new single player experience. And I just finished Fury Green, or at least I think I did, and I've almost completed the Volt Forge. So I unlocked the bike, Viola, and Volt Forge was really cool. Visually, all the lightning striking down, restarting power to this Viola production plant on an alien planet was awesome. Visually, this game continues to stun. The music in Volt Forge was awesome. It builds up, it changes. Once you restore power to this production plant, the music just goes to another level. It was really, really cool. I love Viola so far. I haven't really spent much time in the desert, which I know is where people have a lot of issues with this game. But from what I've played so far, it's amazing. It delivers on every promise, and I cannot wait to continue playing this game. I'm really the type of person who takes their time. I read all of the text. I try to get every scan. This is a really good game for me. It feels a bit like Zelda. I know some people were complaining that it's a little more linear, that it's a bit dungeon like. I see that so far. Fury Green and Volt Forge, the two areas I've been in, are both a little more linear, point A to point B. But there's a puzzle solving aspect which is always present in Metroid, but the Zeldisms, if you want to call it that, in this game are clicking with me as a huge Zelda fan, loving my time with it. This is a great game. So that's basically what I've been playing. I've really enjoyed my time with all of these games so far. Can't wait to continue with Metroid Prime 4, playing on the Switch 2 edition. Visually, looks and runs great. I will keep letting you guys know my thoughts on the game as I make my way through it. So that kind of takes us out of what I've been playing this week, and that brings us into the news. And this was a randomly news heavy week. So there was a new Mario Tennis Fever trailer. That game's coming out in less than a month now. Looks really, really good. There's a ton of playable characters. The talking flower from Mario Wonder is back, and it looks to be a great time. Mario Tennis is one of my favorite of the Mario Sports spin-off games, so I can't wait to dive into it. I think people are feeling good about this. I don't think there's any real issues. It looks to be content complete. They've added the fever rackets, which should really shake things up. There's the story mode with all of the baby characters. I think it's shaping up to be a good game. We don't have any reviews or anything yet, so that's all I can say on that. It was a good trailer. Check it out if you haven't yet. Next up, we have some news on the Legend of Zelda movie. So Netflix and Sony had a little legal updates. They talked about some of their plans for the future, and it looks like the Legend of Zelda movie is going to come to Netflix after its theatrical run. So that's pretty interesting. If you're not willing to go to the theater for it, it should be on Netflix immediately after its theater campaign is complete. We'll definitely be seeing it in the theater. I wouldn't miss that. I still have high hopes for this movie. Whenever there's a live action video game movie, people get worried. There's definitely a reason for that. A lot of video game live action adaptations are not good, but I have a lot of faith in this one. They're working closely with the Zelda team, and Nintendo's pretty good with their characters. I don't think they'd let anything scarily bad happen to them. And so far, the cast looks great. I can't wait to see more. Still hoping for a trailer later on this year. We'll see if that comes to fruition. Other than that, a little more Zelda news. The Lego Zelda Ocarina of Time final battle set was officially revealed. It was leaked a few days before. That should be coming out March 1st, and it's going to cost $130. These are pricey. The Deku Tree was $300, but it is a big set. Lego is becoming a bit of a premium thing now. They're always pricey. 130 is not terrible. I don't know if this is something I'm going to pick up immediately. Maybe down the line, maybe I'll get it from some sort of other seller, like a Woot or eBay, something like that. Which is crazy for me because Ocarina of Time is my jam, but I don't know if I can drop 130 on this set. I do have the Deku Tree set. That came out at a good time for me where I needed something to do and I had the extra money, but this one, I don't know. We'll see. I'll probably wait on that. Looks really cool though. I'll talk more on that later. So, other than that Zelda set, we've got My Mario, the line that Nintendo is producing aimed at young children and babies, which is going to introduce them to Mario characters. There's, plushies, rattles, things like that. They're adding My Mario Little People. So, Little People are those little children's toys that have recently started getting licensed series versions of them. So there's like Golden Girls, there's The Office, there's Stranger Things even, and now there's a My Mario set. So all of our Mario characters are getting little peopleified, and these look great. These are really cool. I don't know if they're out yet, but I think they're coming out soon. I don't have pricing information on that right now, but it looks really cool, and this is a cool collector's item. Maybe if I see it one day at like a TJ Maxx or Marshalls or something, it'll be something I'll pick up. Like I touched on when I talked about what I was playing, the Animal Crossing Switch 2 edition and the free content update, which dropped the same day on January 15th, those are out now. People seem to be loving that. Okay, this is a weird one. Last week, when we talked about Nintendo's 2025 release schedule, the very first game I talked about, which came out a year ago in January of 2025, Donkey Kong Country Returns HD, and I mentioned last week it was a pretty safe release, insignificant, not too much new. Not very controversial. People were a little upset about the price. Well, that game randomly got an update, and it was a pretty substantial one. So this was random, but I love it. I always support bringing more content to older games, especially re-releases. So this update adds Nintendo Switch 2 specific enhancements, so visuals, frame rates, stuff like that. It adds challenge levels in the form of a new turbo attack mode, and it adds Dixie Kong as a playable character. Why this game was updated, I have no idea, but I do think it's a good thing. I haven't picked this game up yet, but I have been wanting to, so one day, if I can find it for a good price, it's awesome that it got a new update, and it was free, so that's great. I support them doing that. Totally random. Don't know why, but I love that they did it. Other than that, Mario Kart World also got updated this week. Nothing too crazy, but this update added a team mode to knockout tours, so that's fun. If you want to get a group of friends together and do a little red team versus blue team point-based action to the knockout tours, then you can do that. This is something I'll probably try out because knockout tour is probably my favorite mode in Mario Kart World, and I like that this option is now there. Pokemon Legends ZA was also updated. This timing wasn't too great for us as we've been playing it, but this update added a few new quality of life improvements. So it raises the cap on Mega Shards, how many you can carry. It was previously 999, and especially in the DLC, you would get those Mega Shards like crazy quick, and you wouldn't even notice that your inventory was already full, and you'd just be collecting them for no reason. So they raised that cap by 9,000. So the new cap is now 9,999. Great change. They also added bulk purchasing for berries, which is important in the DLC for making your donuts. So that is also awesome. I know my girlfriend was just saying recently that she was really annoyed that she had to buy them one by one from the berry vendor. And this is a great change. It's coming a little late. Would have been nice if this at least came out at the same time as the DLC did, but better late than never. Glad to have that there. Little bit of bigger third-party news. Final Fantasy VII Remake has launched on the Nintendo Switch 2, and it looks to be running very well. Game keycard, there's a reason for that. It's a big game. There isn't a smaller cartridge, real full cartridge Game on Cart Complete option for them to do, so I understand this one being a game keycard. People have their gripes. That's fair. It launched at a very fair price. It's $40. You're getting Final Fantasy VII Remake and the OG Final Fantasy VII on your Switch or Switch 2. And, well, sorry, Final Fantasy VII Remake, Switch 2 exclusive, Final Fantasy VII OG. You can get that on your Switch as well. But it also included a little pack of Magic the Gathering cards, so that is really cool. They did great with this release. Fair price, little bonuses. Love to see it. People are loving the way it runs, and this is something I may pick up one day once I have the time and if I can catch it on sale. Little interesting bit of news here. Kensuke Tanabe is retiring. It seems like Metroid Prime 4 was his last game. He's a producer at Nintendo. He's part of the old and true guard. He produced a lot of the older Legend of Zelda games, Metroid Prime games, and more. And I'm sure that his absence will be felt because he is a big part of that OG Nintendo team. You know, a lot of the management at Nintendo has been there for a long time. They're past retirement age now, and I think this will be a trend we continue to see in the future. They're probably going to continually cycle out. This isn't necessarily a bad thing. I'm sure his absence will be felt because these people are very influential in creating the games we love, but it's never a bad thing to pass the torch to the younger generation, and I'm sure that they've done a very good job of training and building up good teams that care about our favorite characters. So I'm not too worried. Good for him. They also mentioned that Metroid Prime 4 is supposed to start the Silux era of the game, so Silux Saga, potentially. So I don't think we're done with Metroid Prime 4 just yet. I haven't finished the game, so I can't personally tell you more about what that means, but if you have, you probably have some idea of the direction they want to take this series. So that sounds cool to me. More on that as I complete this game. Okay, other than that Metroid news, we've got some news from Universal Studios Japan. It looks like Pokemon is officially coming. So Nintendo's kind of branched off into their theme park business with Super Nintendo World, which as of now is mainly just Mario themed, and there's a few Pikmin things there. I haven't gotten to go yet. We would love to. My girlfriend and I have talked about it a lot. One of these days, hopefully we'll be able to go. But with a name like Nintendo World, you would hope that there would be a little more than just Mario there. There's some Pikmin references, but we're talking Zelda, Metroid, and so on. So Pokemon is a great addition. I don't know if it'll be part of Nintendo World. It'll probably be very close by if it's not directly a part of it. And this is pretty cool. I've always dreamed of, I think we all have, going to some sort of Pokemon theme park since I was a kid. And I'm excited to see how this develops. There are no pictures or blueprints published now, but I will update you guys if I'm able to find out more. All right, here's another bit of big news that I don't think anyone expected to drop this week. We got the Super Mario Wonder Nintendo Switch 2 edition basically fully revealed. We knew it was coming before, but we didn't have much information on it. So this is going to add Rosalina. They officially confirmed that. It's going to add Captain Toad challenges, which I'm super excited for. Love Captain Toad and Toad in general. It's going to add lots of multiplayer-based content, so the whole Bella Bell Park expansion is multiplayer-based, local and online. There's lots of different game modes. Those look great. Of course, there's going to be a visual and performance update, and I'm assuming it'll run in 4K, 60 FPS, maybe 120. It's looking great, shaping up to be a great release. I cannot wait for this, and this is coming on March 26th. That same day, 3 new amiibo are coming. Great news for amiibo fan. Doesn't seem like they're going anywhere anytime soon. So we're getting an amiibo for Elephant Mario, we're getting an amiibo for Captain Toad and a Talking Flower, and we're getting an amiibo for a Poplin and Prince Florian. So these look great. I'm at least going to get the Captain Toad amiibo because, like I said, love me some Captain Toad and the Talking Flower. Put those two together. I'm looking forward to it. These amiibo are going to cost $24.99 each, which is a better pricing than amiibo have been lately. The Tears of the Kingdom amiibo were somehow $30. Kirby Air Riders one were $50. So $24.99, $25, that's a better deal. And amiibo are a lot higher quality now than they used to be. And if you're patient enough, sometimes they do go on sale. So if you're interested in these amiibo, hopefully you're able to get them. A little bit more Mario news. As of recording, there is a Super Mario Galaxy Movie Direct today. So I'm recording on Saturday the 24th. The episode will drop on the 25th. So I don't know exactly what's going to be revealed, but I don't really watch the movie-specific directs anyways. I'd rather just see the movie and be surprised by everything in it. The movie looks great. Super excited to see the Galaxy spin on the Mario movie world, and I wish I had more to share, but since I am in the past as this video will be uploaded, I don't know what's going to happen in this direct, so we'll see. Probably nothing too crazy, maybe a few more character or casting reveals. That's it for the news section. It was actually a pretty packed week, and that takes us into the rumors or leaks for the week. Nothing too big here, but that Zelda Lego set, the final battle from Ocarina of Time, that being revealed has fueled the flames even more for the people that suspect that some sort of Zelda remake could be coming this year, or at least very soon, and a lot of people are on that Ocarina of Time remake train. Really hope it's true. That is my favorite game of all time. Would be my dream game to be remade. I would love to revisit Ocarina of Time's Hyrule in 4K. That would be a dream come true. It does seem like there's a lot of marketing ramping up for Ocarina of Time. We had the Deku Tree Lego set last year, which featured Breath of the Wild and an Ocarina of Time version. Now we have another Ocarina of Time set. The Zelda movie's coming soon. We don't know if that'll be based on any specific game or not, but if it is Ocarina of Time, that's another point in this direction. I could see it happening. Nobody's come out and said, no, renowned leakers come out and said an Ocarina of Time remake is coming, but there are a few signs. Sometimes where there's smoke, there's fire. We will see if this pans out or not. Would love it to be true. Other than that, we are just generally in direct watch season. This is the time of year where Nintendo does tend to do a Nintendo Direct. Sometimes they don't. They're really unpredictable these days, but usually there's a Nintendo Direct around February. I think it'll happen. I think they'll set the plans for the year in motion there mid-February, sometime after Mario Tennis Fever comes out on February 12th is when I think we could see it happen. But, people are going to continue to post rumors, leaks, whether they're real or not, about Nintendo Directs until we actually get one. Hopefully next month, fingers crossed. And that's really it for the rumors and leaks section. There are no listener questions to respond to because the podcast is still early, so here is a community wide fan question. When do we think our first Nintendo Direct of the year will be? I predicted it will be mid-February, sometime after Mario Tennis Fever. Some people think it could be before. So comment down below when you think it could be. It could still be this month. It could be in the end of January. You never know. Give me your predictions down below, and let's see who comes out closest to the truth. Another question the community seems to have is, will Zelda's 40th be a big deal? Sometimes Nintendo does big anniversary celebrations like they're doing now for Mario's 40th, which started back in September and is continuing probably to around the time the Mario Wonder Switch 2 edition comes out. Do we think they'll do the same for Zelda? They didn't really do anything for Zelda's 35th. They did for Mario. It's a big anniversary. 40th is a big deal. They're ramping up marketing with this Lego set. Seems like there's a little Ocarina of Time theming. Would be good timing with the movie. What do you guys think? Do you think they'll make it a big deal this time? Me personally, I think they will. I think it's finally time for Zelda to get an anniversary blowout again. It's been a long time. I think the 25th was the last time they seriously marketed a Zelda anniversary. One more thing I want to put out there quickly is, do you guys think it would be cool to record podcasts while playing some low key, low energy games? Like, would it be cool if I played Animal Crossing or something in the background and I was doing like some sort of mundane task? Any, like, even a Minecraft or something like that, or grinding post game for any game, really? Would that be cool and be a little added content for video watchers, listeners? And for the people that are audio only, which when it comes to podcasts, I usually am, but I never really mind if somebody's playing a game in the background. It'll just be an added bit of eye candy for video watchers. And I mean, maybe it'll take me out of the conversation if I see something really rare in a game and I'll pause for a second and be like, oh, look at this. But other than that, I don't think it'll be too intrusive. Let me know what you guys think. Would that be cool? Is it better if I just continue to stick to a format where you're really not missing out on anything if you're an audio only listener? Let me know. It was an idea I had. Thought it could be something cool to do. Um, that's really it for this week. Please get some comments or questions in there, guys. Anything you have relating to Nintendo or news, rumors, anything, I will touch on it in the next episode. Shorter episode this week. Thank you guys for listening. Stay tuned. There will be an episode next Sunday as well. I hope you guys are having a great start to your new year, and I will see you all very soon. Thank you so much for listening. See you all next time. Goodbye.